craziest story of the NFL offseason so far was reported Saturday. Matt Stafford is going to the Los Angeles Rams. And in that trade, the Detroit Lions traded Matt Stafford to the Rams for the Rams 2021 third-round pick, 2022 first-round pick, and 2023 first-round pick. Look, man, I mean, let me tell you something. And this is actually the first time that two number one overall picks have been traded since the 1967 season, which I think that's a pretty interesting fact. But look, this was before I say anything else, the deal will not be official until March 17th, so there are still some things I got to probably talk about. And the two writers for this was Michael Rothstein and Lindsay Theory, ESPN staff writers, and the reporter for this was Adam Schefter, ESPN reporter. You know what, Nate, you start first. Your thoughts on Jared Goff getting traded to the Lions and Matt Stafford getting traded to the Rams?
Well, first of all, congratulations to them both. Good luck to both of them. I did not expect this. I really didn't, because my top 5 teams for Matthew Stafford to go to, right, were the Indianapolis Colts, right, New York Jets. No, not the Jets. Excuse me. Patriots. My bad. The Carolina Panthers, San Francisco 49ers, and I know there's another team out there that needs a quarterback. Maybe the Jets. I don't know. I can't remember if I had the Jets in my top 5 in that situation. Well, anyway, I didn't think the Rams needed. I mean, it's Jared Goff. Jared Goff is good, but he's not like elite level. But he's a pretty solid quarterback in a lot of ways. He reminds me of Andy Dalton. Like, he's solid and he's durable, but he's not like elite level. You know, like you understand what I'm saying? So I found that to be very surprising. As for Matthew Stafford, I'll start with Matthew Stafford first. I'll talk both sides. First of all, Matthew, I'm happy for Matthew Stafford, man. He gets a chance to actually play for a real team, and I mean that. And we don't like to criticize teams or players on here, but let's be honest, dude. The Detroit Lions are not a good football team. Let's be honest with each other. It doesn't take rocket science for you people to say that. Come on now. But now he's playing for the Rams. He's getting there, and the Rams are relatively solid on both sides of the ball. In my eyes, they're a more defensive rounded team. But now they got an elite quarterback in Matthew Stafford. Matthew Stafford now has the chance to prove himself. Now, because now this team is a playoff contender, unlike the Detroit Lions have been for most of his career, where he's been playing his entire career so far. And I have a lot of people coming up here saying, who won this trade, the Rams or the Lions? I'll get to that in just a minute. Now, let me go to the Lions. And I don't know. Maybe this could work out for the Lions. It could work out for both sides. It could work pretty bad for both sides. You don't know that yet. Jared Goff could probably ball out in Detroit, and those two first round picks and that third round pick they got could work in their favor. Which brings up my other point. Who won this trade? I can't tell you that. A lot of people are saying, oh, yeah, Matt Stafford's an elite quarterback. You're absolutely right. He is. And he has a chance to prove himself. But that's my problem. Will he prove himself? Will he be that elite starter for the Los Angeles Rams? And my other questions with the Lions, what about those 2 first-round picks and that third-round pick? What are they going to turn out to be? Will they be just as elite as other wide receivers or whatever position they get? I don't know. I can't tell you that. Same thing with Jared Goff. Is he going to become a better quarterback, or is he going to degrade? We don't know that. That's why I can't say if the Lions or the Rams won this trade, because we don't know how this is going to turn out. But with that said, I wish both the best of luck. I wish both teams the best of luck. I'm happy for Matthew Stafford. He finally gets to play for a real team. I can't tell you for sure how well this is going to work out because, again, there's a lot of questions to be answered. Well, Matt, like I said before, So with that being said, I'll give it over to you now, Mario, and give you your thoughts.
Well, first, congratulations to Matt Stafford on getting traded to the Los Angeles Rams, and best of luck to Jared Goff going to the Detroit Lions. This is a tough trade, man. It really is. And I was thinking to myself all day. I was like, I think the Lions might have won this big time. But then I thought about something. I was like, but then I just thought of something right now, and it completely passed my mind. I have no clue why. Hey, Nate, let me ask something. If you were owning a team, right,
Yeah.
Would you want a player? Would you want to sign a player that makes 33.5 mil, or a player who makes 27 mil? Well, what would help your team the most? Now here's the thing: you got two quarterbacks. I want to say they both play similar to the same level. I want to say. So if you get two quarterbacks that play similar to the same level, would you rather take the 33.5 mil a year, or would you rather take the 27 mil?
I take the 27 mil just to get more cap space.
Right. That's the problem now. So here's the thing. The reason why I thought the Detroit won this trade easily is because you have two first round picks. You have two first round picks now. So you can build with that and a third round pick for this year. Okay. So you can build on that depending on how good these draft classes are going to be. That's number one. Number two, Matt Stafford has been in the league since 2009. Jared Goff has been in the league since 2016. That's a 7-year difference, Nate. So now you got a quarterback that's even younger that plays at a good level that can lead your team for many years to come. But then I look at the contract, right? And that's what's really eyeing me right now. Here's the question there's a few questions that are gonna have to be answered. Number one, when Matt Stafford's contract runs out in Los Angeles, how much will he get paid? That's number one. Number two, will Jared Goff be this long-term guy? That's the second question right there. And if he is, then that might end up becoming an issue. Not because he's a bad quarterback. Jared Goff, I think I'm going to be honest with you. People bash me all you want. I don't care. Jared Goff is not a bad quarterback. I'm sticking to it. He's not a bad quarterback. The amount of, I think he gets disrespected way too much. I do. For being in a class with Dak Prescott and Carson Wentz, where Carson Wentz gets so much money and doesn't live up to it. Dak Prescott, great quarterback. Don't get me wrong. Great quarterback. But guess what? I think Jared Goff has been able to take the Rams to places that Dak Prescott hasn't yet. Simple as that. You know what I'm saying? Jared Goff has playoff wins. Dak Prescott barely even, I don't think, has a playoff win. One. He's got one playoff win. All right. Jared Goff went to a Super Bowl. Now, I know you're saying his defense was really good too, and Todd Gurley was a top 3 MVP. That's absolutely right. Who do you think was throwing the ball, though? We're just going to act like Jared Goff wasn't a big part of this? So that's the other thing right there, too. I don't think am I saying he's this elite quarterback, top 5? No. Dak Prescott, is he an elite 5 is he a top 5 elite quarterback? You can make an argument for absolutely. He's definitely top 10. But here's the thing. When it comes to the playoffs, I'm taking Jared Goff. Simple. I am. He's done it before. He beat the Seahawks with a broken finger. He wasn't even supposed to play that game. He was geared up, but he wasn't supposed to play that game. Quarterback gets hurt. John Wolford comes in. Jared Goff comes in, ends up beating the Seattle Seahawks. Now, aren't you saying the Seattle Seahawks were a bad team this year, and that defense did a really good job? Yes. Here's the problem with that. And Shannon Sharp said it best. He said, when I was with the Broncos, I was a good tight end, but they were like, oh, you have one of the greatest quarterbacks in the league. Then he went to the Ravens. Now but you're with the greatest defense in the league. And then he says, so when am I going to get my credit for what I've done? And that's Jared Goff right there. When's he going to get the credit for what he's done? I'm not saying I'm not saying he was the whole Rams team and he's the only reason why he made it. That ain't what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, where is his credit for what he's done for that team? Simple as that. And now, the thing I look at is this. The only problem I have with Jared Goff going to the Rams is that contract. I mean, going to the Lions is that contract. But you got to also remember that the Lions just took 2 first-round picks, plus the one that they probably get. So think about that, Nate. I always say, I never want to say who won this trade if there's draft picks involved. And the reason why is because you never know what these guys can do.
You don't know what they're going to turn out to be.
You never know. You just never know. And here's the thing. The Rams have talked about a lot how, like, first-round picks are overrated and everything like that. That's why you don't really see the Rams get a lot of first-round picks since Jared Goff. Okay? They're right in a way. They are. Because think about how many guys get out or not even drafted in the first round. They end up turning into studs. Dalvin Cook, Derrick Henry, Adam Thielen went undrafted. Kurt Warner, undrafted. Tom Brady, 6th round. Antonio Brown, 6th round. So it happens. It happens. So I understand what they're saying. But it's all about, and any draft pick can turn into a great star on a few factors. A, they're willing to learn. B, they put in the hard work. C, they keep their nose out of trouble. Simple. Any draft, Oh, and last but not least, you have good enough coaching to develop you. Simple. It's as simple as that. So these two first round picks and this third round pick, that's 3 chances for the Lions to prove that they've won this trade. You have the young quarterback. You have the 3 draft picks, but it's up to the Lions, the 3 new draft picks. Excuse me, they got more, but the 3 new draft picks. But it's up to the Lions to prove to us that they won this trade. Here's the thing with here's the reason why the Rams have the most pressure. Okay, you got rid of 2 first round picks and the 3rd round pick for Matt Stafford. Okay, you have to prove that Matt Stafford not only is this elite quarterback, not only that, because I do think Matt Stafford is a very good quarterback. You don't just have to prove that he's an elite quarterback for your team. He's the one. You got to prove that this guy can win a playoff game. You got to prove that this is the guy is gonna win the Rams that Super Bowl. Because you also got to remember, Jared Goff went to one. Okay, so what happens if they get Matt Stafford, right? And the amount of time that he's in LA, they don't go to a Super Bowl. Are you willing to call this a bust? Maybe. If the Lions end up gaining momentum and they start making playoffs somehow, you willing to call that a win? Maybe. It's all about what will happen in the future. But personally, if you ask me who won this trade, I'm probably gonna go with money aside. I'm probably gonna go with the Lions. Okay.
Right.
I think more of it's pointing to the Lions for me. Future wise, I think neither one of them win. Because at the end of the day, if any of these picks that you get end up turning into the star, they're gonna want money, and not only that, you're gonna have to pay them as much as Jared Goff. So now that's even more money that you're wasting on you. They're not wasting, but that's more money that is coming out of your cap space. So future-wise, I don't think the Rams win. The reason why I don't think the Lions win future-wise is because how much longer is Matt Stafford gonna play in this league? If Matt Stafford can play probably another 5 years and have 5 successful years with the Rams, then the Rams I think the Rams win this future wise. If Matt Stafford is gonna have 1 foot out the door in a few years, I think the Lions win it. But I mean, I'm not wishing, even though the Lions are my division rivals, and I want the Vikings to do everything well, because now we got to play Jared Goff 2 times a year. And actually, here's a funny thing: Kirk Cousins is known as being one of the most overpaid quarterbacks in the league. Jared Goff has a higher contract than Kirk Cousins. So good news for me: Kirk Cousins is not the highest paid quarterback in the NFC North no more. So I'm happy with that. Look, but nah. In all seriousness, I wish Matt Stafford the best of luck in LA. I wish Jared Goff the best of luck in Detroit. And I'm curious to see how both these teams are going to turn out, not just this season, but in the near future.